Shelby Stewart. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning to you.
We do appreciate your time. You know, as of right now, I believe it's 30 states already restrict no-knock warrants. Do you think the Breonna Taylor Act being reintroduced yesterday, having bipartisan support, could gain traction at the federal level? Could it pass?
I think it could if you have enough senators and Congress people that will vote for it. I believe it could happen.
Potential there. Are there any areas of policing that could also benefit from reform, ultimately preventing tragedies like we have here in the Breonna Taylor case?
Well, it's difficult to say that because in the warrant was falsified, which gave the officers the pretext to run the warrant in the death of Breonna Taylor. And so you have to have transparency, checks and balances, and accountability.
Yeah. You know, I think it's oftentimes when we think of reform, we think of it stemming from a disadvantage. And in actuality, that can be the case. But with reform, there's an opportunity. And so I just want to be clear when we talk about reform, it's not there. I feel like the word reform can be very polarizing for some. Talk to us about training officers, what it looks like. Obviously, when we talk about training in many different industries, you know, that work, that profession, that training evolves. What is training like in policing right now? And do you feel that there needs to be a redesign of training?
Well, the training deals mostly with the law, procedures of search and seizure. And so those are the mechanisms that police officers go through. But the difficult part is always bias. And bias, if you bring it to the police department, when you get hired, the police department can't take away that bias because these are values that have been inculcated in you from the time that you could walk. And so those biases will always color the decisions that you make in situations of law.
Those experiences.
Yes.
Those experiences and the decisions that you have to make in sometimes a matter of minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. Remind us how long you were an officer for?
I retired from HPD in 2009. I was there for 28 years and retired as a sergeant.
What does that career in law enforcement mean to you today? And what is your hope for law enforcement agencies across the country moving forward?
I would hope that there are improvements in the training to recognize bias and have more officers that are empathetic and understanding to the neighborhoods that they work in, even though they may come from somewhere else and be of a different race, and learn to deal with people where they are to improve the police department.
Representation matters, but not always will you be able to have that representation within those communities that need it most. And so you're saying to be able to assimilate and understand is critical.
Right.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I also know, too, across the country, many communities have launched police accountability boards to confront and address systemic issues. Does this type of effort help improve, or does it only affirm stigmas and continue to polarize people? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that police have to be held accountable for their actions. And so I don't see a problem with groups coming together to hold police departments and officers accountable for what they do under color of law.
Yeah. Well, Shelby Stewart, we so much appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.